My name is Scott Morris, and I am a professional musician. I was raised in a musical family. My dad and all of his brothers all played. They had bands together as kids, and they sat and they played. And they would have these family jam sessions where we would get together and play these old country songs. And when I was very young, probably 4 years old or so, I remember wanting to be a part of that situation. I wanted really bad to be part of those little jam sessions. And so I asked my dad, who was the guitar player, if he would teach me how to play. And his answer to me was, when you're 6. Just to shut me up, just to, you're too young when you're 6, whatever. The day after my 6th birthday, I went to my dad and said, Dad, you said when I was 6 that you would teach me how to play the guitar. And so I remember January 11th, the day after my 6th birthday, I remember him sitting down. I can still see it in my head. I can still remember the guitar I was holding. I remember it was the chord he taught me. I remember all of that stuff. And I never playing when I wasn't supposed to play. I would stay up late at night and I would turn the lights off in my room and play in the dark because I knew that my parents could see the light under the door. So I would turn the lights off and lay in my bed and play in the dark with headphones on. And I just remember being extremely passionate about what I wanted to do from a very, very early age. And there has never been a point in my life when I have not played the guitar. I don't know what I don't know what I would do if I weren't playing. My friends didn't understand why I didn't want to go out and play baseball with them. They didn't understand why. I had a basketball hoop in my driveway, and my friends were always out in my driveway playing basketball while I was inside playing the guitar. My desire to stay and play when there were much more quote-unquote exciting things going on around me was not the same as their approach was. And so that's what made me different. It to this day makes me different. People ask me all the time, you're a professional, you do this for a living, do you still practice, is what they ask. And I absolutely do. I practice all the time. I am always learning. As a kid, I grew up listening to country music. However, I grew up in the 80s, and one of the things that you had to do as an 80s guitar player was you had to be able to play fast and hard. And that was the thing that I listened to a lot was people I looked up to as a younger kid. I really wanted to be like that. And there are musicians, both professionally that I don't know, and musicians that have surrounded me that I've always wanted to be. I wanted to be viewed favorably by them. I wanted to impress them, and that was always something that pushed me along as I was going. I believe that it's 2% talent, 98% work. And the more I learn, the more people I teach, the more I realize that that's really the truth. The talent part is not something you're born with. I wasn't born with the ability to play the guitar. I was born with the desire to play the guitar. And I think that's one of the things that through hard work, it has enabled me to be able to do this. And I believe that if you work really hard at something, including this, you absolutely can do this. There's no question about it. I'm not anything special. I just had the desire to do this, and I think that's where this comes from. There was a time when I was called to do this studio session for this R&B group. It was a vocal group. There was something very specific that they wanted me to do. And that was the whole part. For about 2 hours, I sat and tried that. And so after about 2 hours, the producer said to me, the producer's running the project, the producer says to me, Scott, I'm sorry, I have to get somebody else. There in front of all the musicians and all of the vocalists and all of the technical people, packed up my stuff, my guitar, my amp, and my equipment in complete, very uncomfortable silence. I remember getting in my car and sitting down and starting the car and thinking, okay, I'm finished. I'm never gonna do this again. I'm gonna sell all of my guitar equipment. I'm never ever going to do this ever again. The pivotal time came when I could either decide I'm finished, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm gonna hang this up, and I'm giving up, I'm going away. Or I'm gonna figure out what it is that I need to do to make this work, and I'm gonna make that work. And I'm gonna work on this until I get this. Exactly a year later, I was in that same studio with the same group and the same producer working on their next album. My advice for people who want to do this is don't stop. Don't ever stop. If you want to be a professional basketball player, then learn as much as you possibly can about being a basketball player. We as people are not born with the ability to do anything but what we learn how to do. Somebody a long time ago said to me, don't speak above your experience. And what that means is, that means don't assume that you can portray something that you don't know anything about. If there's something out there that you really want to do, that you really want to say, that you really want to be, learn how to do that. When you're playing a video game, there are codes and things that you can do to bypass certain things and get to different levels by cheating, so to speak. In reality, in real life, there is no cheating. In reality, there are no shortcuts. And so don't look for a shortcut to get around something. If there's something that you want to learn how to do, absolutely do it.